Shalom. If you're familiar with Yiddish sayings, you may be familiar with the term bashert. Bashert intimates that there are things that are predetermined by God, such as it was bashert that they should meet. God intended for them to meet, or he is her bashert. He is the one who is intended for her, which is a lovely folk concept. But I think it's contrary to the teaching which we find in the opening words of Parashat Re'eh, which is this week's Torah portion. There we find the following: Re'eh anochi noten lifnechem hayom bracha uklala. God says, "See, this day I set before you blessing and curse. Et bracha asher tishmu mitzvot Adonai." There is going to be blessing if you follow, if you listen to and follow the mitzvot, the commandments which God has commanded us to observe. V'aklala im lo tishmu mitzvot Adonai, and the curse if you do not follow that which God has taught us. The implication is you have a choice. Each of us has a choice. We decide whether or not there are going to be blessings or curses in our lives. We are in charge of our actions. That means there's no such thing as bashert. Because bashert would take away our free will and put it in the hands of God. But we are instructed by God to make our own decisions, to create and follow our own paths in accord with God's teachings. I actually think that's good news, because so often in life we write off our problems, our mistakes, our failures to our past, our genetic makeup. We say, "Oh, I am that way because that's how I was born. That's what my family culture is like. That's what I was taught. That's the way I always do things." Instead, God is telling us, no, you always have the capability. God says God teaches us this hayom, today. Not in the past, but today, right now, we have the capability to make our own decisions and alter, change the course of our lives. If we didn't need, once in a while, to check up on how we're doing, we wouldn't be so concerned about the Yamim Noraim, the days of awe, which are coming up at the end of September. Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur are our annual tune-up when we check in with ourselves to see how we're doing and work really hard at laying the groundwork for changes in the coming year. But we don't have to wait for Yom Kippur. The parasha teaches us right now, today, we can work on those changes. Stephen Covey, the author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, teaches us the same lesson. He tells us in the first of the 7 habits, the habit of proactivity, that to be proactive means to be response-able. To be responsible means to be response-able. We create our own responses to situations. We can't write it off to our genes. We can't blame our family or our past. We are constantly in control of who we are. In other words, we are making the decision whether or not we are going to be a blessing to ourselves and to others, or we might be a burden, even a curse, if we don't change the way we do things. In the words of the late wonderful singer Debbie Friedman, Zichra Livracha, of blessed memory, you shall be a blessing. Let's take to heart the lessons of Parshat Re'eh and make ourselves a blessing for ourselves, for all those whom we love, and for all those with whom we come into contact. Shabbat Shalom.